This is the Audi S6 e-tron Avant. I had it for 2 weeks, drove around 1500 kilometers in it, and it's time to talk about what I like about this car and what is not so good. This video is brought to you by A Better Routeplanner, the route planner for EVs. Hundreds of cars are supported. Choose your configuration, plan your route with the charging network that you want to prefer or charging networks that you want to avoid. If you're a premium member, you can use real-time weather forecast and traffic information, and you can also use A Better Routeplanner in your car with Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. Use the link in the description to support the channel and use A Better Routeplanner Premium for 30 days for free. Let's start with what I like. Of course, S version means more power, also sporty suspension and sporty brakes and everything, and this is what it delivers. But the amazing thing is it's still very comfortable. So the S6 is not like this is a sports car and every little bump hurts. No, this car has an amazing suspension. It's the compromise, the perfect compromise for the A6, where the normal A6 is very comfortable but not sporty at all when it comes to acceleration and cornering, and also not amazing at top speed. This car has it all. We have 405 kilowatt all-wheel drive, 551 horsepower. It feels amazing. Acceleration was 3.86 seconds in launch mode, which is amazing. And it's also great in corners when you have to drive a bit in corner, even though it's a gigantic car. And I mean, this car has the sport tires on. We have 21-inch tires, 275 in the rear, 245 in the front. And then it's also still great at 200 kilometers an hour. This car has a top speed of 240, and when you drive above 230, it gets a bit unstable. It's not that amazing anymore. But at 200, this feels way better than the normal A6. I like the two charge ports. I like that I have one on the left in the rear and on the, that was the right, I'm an idiot, and here on the left as well. The left side has AC and DC, and on the right side we have just AC, but still, it's cool. The space, of course, is extraordinary with a car like this that's so gigantic. In the trunk, on the rear seats is enough space, headroom, and in the front as well. And then we have a tiny little frunk as well for at least 2 charging cables. So space is really not a problem in this car. We have an 800 volt battery system, 100 kilowatt hours, 95 kilowatt hours can be used. And with this we get a peak power of 270 kilowatt, and charging 10 to 80% takes 21 minutes, which is really amazing. What I also love in this car is the one pedal driving, the regen. It's really comfortable, it's strong, you can adjust it very well. I love it. It brings you to a standstill. That's real one pedal driving. I love that. That's totally my thing. Overall, I find the software really good. I hear people complaining about it. I didn't have any real problems with it. I think that a few things are missing. We talk about it in a second, but I have all my controls on the steering wheel. I have a lot of buttons here if I need to change something. I have a lot of info in the cockpit, a lot of good info. And here I also have a lot of space to have a lot of stuff. And I still have buttons that are nice. It's nice to have a drive select button, and it's nice to have assist system button where I have favorites. That's my most important and very nice thing, that I can select 5 different things that are here as a favorite that I can turn and switch off very easily. And when I go into my things, there's a star, and I can just select what I want to be my favorites, and that's awesome. And I still have a favorite button on the steering wheel where, for example, I can put the overspeed warning in if this is the only thing that annoys me. I love in the navigation that when I navigate to something, I see right away all the info, what state of charge will I arrive. And if I have to charge in the screen on the cockpit, I already see I arrive at the charger with 14% and I have to charge to 55%. That is amazing. And then in the navigation, I can adjust a lot of things. I can go to the settings. I can say, do I want put something else in the route? It's no problem. problem. My charging thing, should it do charging limits? Of course, I can still not select what charging network I would like to use, but the whole calculation, state of charge and everything is really done very well. This car has battery preheating for navigating to a charger, but what I don't like is that I cannot turn that off. Maybe I want to navigate to a charger, but I don't want it to preheat the battery, or maybe I want to preheat it by myself with a button. There's no button where I can switch, hey, please preheat the battery. What I can see is the battery temperature. And someone told me once, when you set the cockpit into dynamic mode, then you can see that it's preheating. And no, you can just see the temperature here, but there's no indication anywhere that it started to preheat the battery and when it's done. I want that info. I really want to see, okay, I'm navigating somewhere, then suddenly I want a message or a symbol at the battery, I don't know, a heating symbol, something anywhere that tells me, hey, I'm preheating the battery. What I'm not a fan of is that every time when I connect my phone and I get into the car, it always starts Android Auto. This is standard. Why is that? When I just want to connect my phone and that's it, why do I need to see Android Auto? Not a fan of that. The beeping. Every time I get into the car, I get some warning that something has to be initial. What this here active front assist has to be initialized or something, and then it beeps. Why is that? This is really annoying. I don't want that. Stop the beeping. Overall, the car can beep a lot when you put it into reverse. That's loud. It's overall it really tends to beep, and the park assist is also something that can be a bit loud even if I turn it down to the lowest volume. High beam assist. This car has the special light high beams where it stays on, and then if a car coming toward you, it just blends out where the car is, but the high beams stay on, and that's great. And you can deactivate it if you don't want it to function in the infotainment system. But what I don't like is every time the light turns on, even though I don't have the high beams on, automatically this is on, like right now. So if it would be dark enough and I drive a certain speed, the high beams will turn on. What if I don't want that? If I want to turn the high beams on, I have it in many other cars where high beam assist is on, but I have to turn it on that it's functioning, and I want that. I don't like the car to turn it on by itself if I don't want the high beams. BMW does the same thing. That's crap. Cut that out. And I see that with a lot of people that own a BMW, when they drive with this on, then they drive behind a lot of traffic in the morning when it's dark, and then it's off just a tiny bit on the left and the right, and this always flickers, goes on and off. That's very annoying and distracting. What is a bit annoying in this car is the button down here. This is where you adjust the volume, and when you press it, you think you're stopping the music, but no, you're just muting the infotainment system. So if you're listening at Android Auto to Spotify or something, a podcast, it will go on, but you can't hear it. That's annoying. And another part is the communication with Android Auto. So if you play or pause something, it takes 2-3 seconds till it reacts. I'm not a fan of the charge port because it takes so long. When you're done charging and you unplug, it will close automatically. If you want to do it yourself, there's no button. You have to press against the motor and then it will close. I'm not a fan of that. The digital mirrors, of course, are an option. You don't need to have them. Of course, they're good for consumption, but when it comes to seeing stuff, the screen inside is really good resolution, good brightness, and also good frame rate. So I know why it's expensive to have those digital mirrors, but it's not better. So it's just for the consumption. So a normal mirror, so many times I go backwards and I'm like, I have no idea. I don't see anything. I have to look back. I feel, and on the highway too, I feel very unsafe with the digital mirrors. And it's not of the position of the monitor, that's fine inside the car. it's what you can see, and that you notice how far is it. It's just a different angle and different view. But overall, this is a great car. I can only recommend it. It charges amazing. It has higher consumption than the normal A6, of course. These motors are not made for efficiency, they're more made for power. So maybe the Quattro version is a bit better. You still get more efficient motors when you want to do a long distance drive. It charges amazing with the 270 kilowatt, 21 minutes for this gigantic battery. That's really great. But if efficiency and getting to your destination in an efficient way and good for charging, then this car isn't it. But if you want a bit of fun, a bit of sportiness, a bit of power, and driving a bit in corners and being great at top speed, then this car is it. Really amazing. I love it. I prefer this. For me, efficiency is good, but it has a limit. If you want to follow me on Instagram, BatteryLife1, and if you want to support the channel, there's a Patreon link in the description below, and here on YouTube there's also channel membership. And if you want to know what's happening behind the scenes, I have a third YouTube channel, Behind the Battery. But that's it for me. Thank you much for watching. Have a great day and take care. Bye.